Ooh, it is Saturday, March, I think 16th. Obviously, it's Saturday, so you guys know exactly what that means. Wrestling Week in Review. I do thoroughly enjoy these doing these live streams for you guys. I mean, for those who enjoy watching me go live. I know some people don't like it when I go live, but that's okay. I'm not here to cater to those people. I'm here to cater to the people who actually like me and are my friends. So, as you know, I'm drinking Powerade as always. This time I'm not drinking something that's zero sugar. I'm actually drinking just regular Powerade this time. Fruit punch, as always. Hey, thanks Boss for showing up. Any of you guys that are just now coming in, if you want to hit that like button, I've said it probably a gazillion times already. You don't have to, it's not required, but I appreciate it. Thanks, Boss, for doing that. 2 likes? Can we get it up? Can we get 10 likes? Can we get 10 likes on this live stream by the time I finish this live stream? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but hey, we can try. We can try. I don't know my tongue's red yet. I probably haven't drunk enough of this in order for my tongue to get red. Well, because you all know what this already is, Wrestling Week in Review, I thought we should start with Monday Night Raw since that is the show that I always start out with because it is always the first show of the new week. Yeah, I was there. I was there. I was there, every boss. I saw what happened. I don't. It didn't bother me at all. Didn't bother me at all. I was just not worried about it. But yeah, it is what it is. He's gonna troll anyway. He's gonna troll however he can. Monday Night Raw started out with Drew McIntyre. Now, I don't think I need to tell you, but Drew McIntyre, as of right now, is doing probably some of the best work out of his entire career. He's doing probably some of the best work out of his entire career. It's not even that much of a stretch. He talked about Seth Rollins, how Seth Rollins, how he feels like Seth Rollins is prioritizing The Rock and the Bloodline over him and his World Heavyweight Championship match because Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre will face off for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania because Drew McIntyre won the Elimination Chamber match. That's what's going to happen. As far as who wins that match, I actually do think that Drew McIntyre will win. I actually do think that Drew McIntyre will win that match at WrestleMania, and we have a new World Heavyweight Champion. I just don't know why they would be pushing Drew this hard as like a big heel and a big threat to Seth Rollins' championship if they just weren't gonna give it to him. I mean, I've seen it done before where they'll push someone like super hard into the main event scene, and they'll put someone super hard as a main eventer, and they'll have a shot at like the world championship or against Roman's title, yet they have no intent. And yet, by the time the match happens, that person loses, and then But I do think Drew should win against Seth, and I think he is going to win. That's my prediction for WrestleMania. My first ever prediction for WrestleMania. Hey, Nate. How are you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Seth Rollins then came out. He also talked about CM Punk a little bit, Drew McIntyre, and that he expects a thank you card from CM Punk because in Drew's own mind, he is the only person that is keeping CM Punk relevant in 2024. Was hilarious. That was actually a funny line because, yeah, CM Punk is relevant because of CM Punk, not because of anybody else. But I guess Drew's just playing off of the fact that he's injured and no one's really talking about CM Punk, and so Drew's kind of keeping CM Punk in the limelight in Drew McIntyre's own mind, which it's funny. They've announced CM Punk. They've announced CM Punk for the Raw before WrestleMania, the last Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania. And so, with the way Drew McIntyre has been digging into CM Punk as of late, I don't see how they don't do a confrontation at some point during that show. When CM Punk is on that, when they officially have CM Punk come out, also they're gonna have Drew McIntyre come out as well, and they're gonna have a back and forth. I see it happening. We'll have to see, Nate. I mean, clearly somebody else doesn't exactly want you at the moment, so that's good. I mean, you shouldn't be associating with him anyways. I did hear that, Everblast. But they did say that they are going to still be friends. They did say that they're going to still be friends. That just because they're divorced doesn't mean that they're never going to be like friendly towards each other ever again. They're still going to be friends, so that's good. Hey Austin, anybody that comes on that's coming on to the live stream that wants to put a like on the live stream, like I've said a gazillion times already. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is fake. It's scripted. It's supposed to be fake. That doesn't mean that the injuries that some of these superstars get are fake. The injuries can be real. And in some cases, kind of like Big E. In Big E's case, his injury could potentially be career-ending, because we haven't necessarily heard Big E say, "I'm never returning to the ring yet." We have not heard that from Big E. But we also haven't heard Big E say, "I'm coming back to the ring." So, yeah, it's fake. I know it is. That doesn't mean that the injuries aren't, because the injuries are. Well, I wasn't really paying attention to any of the comments that whoever he was making. But yeah, the opening segment was a great opening segment between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. That was great. We then got Liv Morgan versus probably was that person. Probably was the same person, Austin. We got Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. match was pretty good. Pretty good. Got about 15 minutes, so they definitely gave this match some time to breathe. Like, look, Aaron, I'm sorry, but he's a bit of a jerk. He's a bit of a jerk. Well, Aaron, I'm just gonna tell you right now. Most of what he tells you is probably a lie. Mainly because he needs you on his side against me. That's all I'm gonna say. He probably wants you on his side against me because he needs people to hate me as much as he does. So most of what he tells you is probably a lie. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. After the match, we got a backstage segment where Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan shook hands, but then Nia Jax from out of nowhere comes out to attack both of them. I don't know why we're keeping Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. Like, are we gonna get another Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax match? I'm sorry, but 2 matches was okay. 3 matches, I don't know if we need to keep doing this. I mean, obviously, I'm guessing Nia Jax is still mad as hell that she isn't in that World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania, and Becky Lynch is. I get that she's upset about that. I bet she's still upset about what happened at Elimination Chamber, but that happened like a month ago. That was a month ago, okay? Just get over it already. Come on, Nia, get over it. So you're not wrestling, so you're not Women's World Champion going into WrestleMania. Actually, not this side. Nah, not this time. That's not the real Ryback. That's not the real Ryback. I mean, the fact that he even used the word Matt, I'm like, yeah, right. We also got a Andrade and Judgment Day segment. Andrade came to Nah, not this time, Austin. Maybe next time. If he has a backup, Aaron, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't think he is. Rhea Ripley had a talk. They talked with Andrade. Rhea Ripley talked about how Dominic has been sort of advocating for Andrade to potentially join the group. We'll see where this goes. I don't know. We also got an announcement for WrestleMania from Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, where the Judgment Day will officially have to defend their tag team titles in a 6-pack ladder match. Now, as of last night, we started qualifying matches to determine who was going to be a part of that 6-pack ladder match. Okay, people, can we not get into arguments today? Aaron? I hate to have to time you out, Aaron, simply because Aaron or Nate. But there will be no arguing today. There will be no drama today. So, yeah, I know. Well, that doesn't mean you have to respond. Okay, you can just do what I do with a bunch of people on YouTube and just ignore them. Okay? Just ignore the comments. Or if one of you doesn't want to be here, then you don't have to be here. I do appreciate you guys being here, but if there's one of you that doesn't feel comfortable being here with around Nate, then they can always leave if they want to. Austin, please accept my decision to say no, please. I'm not timing anybody out unless I absolutely have to. Later, we got Judgment Day of we got Finn Balor and Damian Priest confronting Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce about the 6-man pack ladder match. Who? Aaron? I'm not unmodding Aaron, and I'm not timing out Aaron. He's one of my friends. He hasn't really done or said anything at this point that makes me want to time him out or unmod him at all. The same with you, Nate. It's not going to happen. When I mod somebody on my channel, I mod them for life. Well, geez. Well, then why don't you just leave then, Nate? If you don't want to be here around Aaron. I'm not here to talk about drama, and I'm not here to let's just get on with the show so I can get this over with, please. I mean, it's okay, Austin. I just you probably don't have to ask me all the time. It's okay, Nate. Just try to just ignore it sometimes. Sometimes you just gotta ignore people. Yeah, I know Aaron sometimes doesn't always stay for the entire time because sometimes he also is doing other things. And I know not everybody that comes onto my live streams can stay the entire time. So yeah, I agree. I do know that some people can't stay the entire time on my live stream. Also, in this same segment, we got R-Truth came in. R-Truth apparently was the guy that came up with the idea for the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania. So Damian Priest decided to take out his frustrations on R-Truth in a match later on, which he would win after his, I guess, Regeneration X friends, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano were attacked at ringside. What else? We got Jey Uso. We got Jey Uso in the ring. He came out to talk about his brother Jimmy Uso, how he's been costing him some big matches as of late, and he challenged his brother Jimmy Uso to a match at WrestleMania. And as of last night, Jimmy Uso accepted, which I'll talk about. We also got Cody Rhodes in-ring interview with Michael Cole. No, I don't know that. Didn't know that, Nate. If that is the case, then it's the first time I'm hearing it. It's the first time I'm hearing about it, if it's true. But if so, then he's just literally ripping off Tony Khan, because Tony Khan was supposed to do a Meat Madness match at Revolution, but some of the superstars he was looking to have in that match weren't going to be able to make it, so that's why we got that All-Star Scramble for a shot at the AEW World Championship, which wasn't even that good, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but yeah, if it is true, then it's the first I'm hearing about it. We also got a Gunther. Cody Rhodes talked about his match at WrestleMania, his two matches at WrestleMania with The Rock, Roman Reigns, with Seth Rollins. He talked about his match with The Rock. Roman talked about the. I'm not gonna lie, Nate. SmackDown last night was a little bit lackluster. The best part of SmackDown last night was the Rock concert with Roman with the Rock. That was the best part. Yeah, I mean Jay got a very good promo on Raw, which was very good. Good. Also, we got Gunther, and in Gunther interview backstage, he was interviewed about the gauntlet match that would be the main event tonight, the main event that night, later tonight, that night. He said that he appreciates that these people all want a shot at his title, and he wished the winner of that gauntlet match, the eventual winner of the gauntlet match, luck, because they're going to need it when facing him at WrestleMania. Most of the time, yeah, Nate. Yeah, pretty much all the time. When someone says something about me to somebody else that's like a friend of mine, like if someone were to say something to Aaron about me on his channel, most of the time it's probably something fake, because it's probably a troll account that just wants to harm my reputation somehow. So they're gonna just say whatever they want, whatever they think is necessary to. We also got a tag team. Oh yeah, Austin. I saw that. Ooh, pretty good. Yeah, yeah. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay, Nate. I was willing to give you at least a shot at the title. I'll give you whenever you think you want a shot at a title. I'm willing to give it to you. I'm not gonna just give you a title anymore. I think that's just too easy. But if you ever want like a shot at a certain title, like on Monday, if you want a shot at the SmackDown title, I'll give it to you. Whether you win or not is up to you. But I don't. I don't think I'm just. I don't think I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna refrain from just giving people titles anymore. Yeah, you can win. Yeah, you've actually been able to win titles just by getting a shot at them sometimes. Most of the time, you've won championships just by people handing them to you, but you've actually been able to win some titles recently by just through trivia. So yeah, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be giving just anybody in general. I just don't think I'm gonna be giving out titles anymore. If you want my title, then you're just gonna get a shot at it. But I'm not just gonna give it to you. Well, that's it for the Powerade. We got a tag team match. This was nothing. This meant nothing to me because it lasted just about 2 minutes, maybe a little more than that. Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile versus Indy Hartwell. Maybe I'll have to think about it. But then again, Maroney is the SmackDown champion. Well, Maroney is the SmackDown champion as of right now. I'm the Raw champion. Maroney's SmackDown champion, so you might actually have to just talk to him. Talk to him about it. I mean, he might be willing to give Everboss a shot because he can trust Everboss, but he doesn't seem to trust Nate at the moment. Oh, hello, Danny Staten. Thank you. Well, the Raw belt will be on the line on Monday, so it's not going to make a difference if I beat you for the title. But then again, another reason for me to gloat. But then again, would probably be another reason for me to just gloat and say, haha, I defended my title twice on the same live stream. We got a tag team match, Maxine Dupree and Ivy Nile versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. This match went about 2 minutes, maybe a little more than that, but the only thing about this match that was even remotely interesting was the fact that they took what recently happened at a live event where a fan was caught on video heckling Maxine Dupree heavily. And I'm guessing they're deciding to turn this into a storyline with Candice LeRae turning heel because Candice LeRae just berated Maxine Dupree in the corner as Maxine was going for, I guess, her version of Otis's caterpillar, the reverse worm. And Candice LeRae stopped her before she was able to hit the move on Indy Hartwell and said, like, no, you're not doing that. You're not doing that move on us. You think you're going to get away with that? Like, you're bad. You think the internet hates you? Go see what the women in that locker room think about you. And then she also decided to bring up, apparently she has a brother who died, I think, in 2017 in a car accident. She said, I'm glad your dead brother is not here to see what a disappointment you've become. Now, I don't know if this is a storyline or what, but damn, Candice LeRae really dug in on Maxine Dupree there. Whether this turns into a storyline or not, honestly, that was the most interesting part of the match. Unhide that person, Mox, or whoever you are, bye-bye. That was literally the best thing about the match, about that tag team match, was that berating that Candice LeRae did on Maxine Dupree. We also got a women's tag team title match between Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and the Kabuki Warriors. Now, I actually did kind of think, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark could actually beat Kabuki Warriors and win the tag team titles, and they almost did on a number of occasions. But in the end, Dakota Kai running interference in the match on a number of occasions was what eventually did the challengers in. Kabuki Warriors do win. As far as what the Kabuki Warriors are doing at WrestleMania, as far as their tag team titles are concerned, I don't know. Maybe they defend the titles in against one team or multiple teams. I know WrestleMania 38, we had a fatal four-way match for the women's tag team titles. Champions at the time were Carmella and Queen Zelina versus Shayna Baszler and Natalya versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus Naomi and Sasha Banks. And with Naomi and Sasha Banks winning, we all know what happened. We all know what eventually happened. They got sick and tired of the way they were being booked and decided to leave. Naomi is now back, but Mercedes is now officially All Elite. I don't know. Maybe it's the same one. I don't know. I don't know, Nate. Maybe it's the same one. We'll just you can just continue. You just continue to block that person and time them out if I don't get to them first. Yeah, you do that. You definitely do that. Then we come to the main event, which was obviously the longest match of the night. Didn't go 30 minutes, but it went just about that long, a little less than 30 minutes, like 29 minutes, over 29 minutes. So this gauntlet match, we start out with Ricochet and JD McDonough. This was actually a pretty decent match in and of itself. This could have been just a normal match, and it would have been pretty good. And it was. Ricochet eliminates JD, and then we get Bronson Reed. Now, this one, and now Ricochet versus Bronson Reed didn't last nearly as long as he lasted with JD, honestly, because of all the offense that him and JD did. I guess it just wore Ricochet out. Bronson Reed was able to make quick work of Ricochet. Then we get Sami Zayn. He eliminates Ricochet. Then we get Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn eventually eliminates Bronson Reed. Then we get Shinsuke Nakamura. That's also a good little match inside this gauntlet match. Sami Zayn eliminates Shinsuke Nakamura, and then we get Chad Gable. So this is also a great little match. Chad Gable could have easily also right before, I think Bronson Reed came back out following his elimination and just brutalized Sami Zayn. So when Chad Gable eventually came out, Chad Gable could have easily just pinned Sami Zayn, or could have at least put him in like the ankle lock and could have easily had him tap out. But he wanted to win this match the old-fashioned way. He didn't want to capitalize. He didn't want to capitalize on on someone else's attack on Sami, which honestly could have been what cost him the match. And the ending of this match may be revisited as a storyline, because at the end of the match, Chad Gable was, I think, putting the ankle lock on Sami Zayn. He did that like 3 different times during their match, during their exchanges. And on the third time, Sami counters into a pin, but as we see, neither one of Chad's shoulders are down officially, even though the ref did count the 3 count, mainly because the ref wasn't looking in that direction, in the direction of Sami's shoulders. All he saw was Sami Zayn trying to pin Chad Gable, and he gets in the 3, and so Sami Zayn is the winner, did win, and will challenge Gunther at WrestleMania. I gave you my prediction as far as Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. I do believe Drew McIntyre should win, and I think he will win. Now, I also think, as far as Sami Zayn and Gunther, as much as I would actually kind of like to see Sami Zayn beat Gunther in sort of like a David versus Goliath story, I do think that Gunther will actually retain. They, I mean, they could have Chad Gable. They could have that sort of false finish at the end of the Gauntlet match. They could revisit that in a storyline where maybe Sami Zayn and Chad Gable do a rematch to determine who actually is the rightful challenger for Gunther, and then they do, and then they have Chad Gable win, because it just feels like a lot more people are gravitating more towards Chad Gable being the one to get that opportunity. That's just how I see it. That was Monday Night Raw. If I had to rate Monday Night Raw, I would have given it a 6.5 out of 10, maybe 7, because it was really good. The Gauntlet match was really good. And the Drew McIntyre opening segment with Seth Rollins was also very good. Cody Rhodes' interview was a bit drama heavy. Cody Rhodes even was like crying at one point, and I was like, okay, I don't think Cody Rhodes needs to give us the waterworks for this. Yeah, there are better ways to get people invested in your story than just you crying. Crying isn't going to immediately have people sympathize with you and your story. And there were a couple of others, like Damian Priest for R-Truth was also very good. So maybe I'll just give it a 7 out of 10, because there were a bunch of good matches on this card. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Now NXT. I've said this for a while now, for a long time now. NXT has always been for a while in like the summer, in the late spring, early summer, and even into like the early fall 2023. For a while, NXT was better than both SmackDown and Raw, in my opinion, because there were a bunch of NXT shows that just felt better. And apparently, we're getting triple qualifying matches on NXT for a triple. I guess we're getting a triple. We might be getting a triple threat match at Stand and Deliver for the NXT Tag Team titles. because the opening segment / match was LWO versus Out the Mud OTM in a qualifying match for a triple threat match. I'm guessing it's a triple threat match for the NXT Tag Team titles. LWO do win this match. So they are, I'm guessing, I don't know. Also, before the show even went on the air, they had an altercation, I guess, earlier on in the day when Brooks Jensen arrived at the NXT arena and he attacks Oba Femi, who is the NXT North American champion. They apparently would have a match later on that night for the NXT North American Championship. Went about 11 minutes. It wasn't that bad of a match, but Oba Femi obviously won that match. We also got a Chase U promo, which was good. I'm not really that much of a fan of Chase U. It's okay. We also got Lexis King, or aka Brian Pillman Jr., versus Robert Stone. This was interesting. Robert Stone, as far as I know, is just a manager. Yeah, watch his channel and find out, goof. The only time I'll use that. The only time I'll say it. The word goof. Lexis King won the match. afterwards he was going to attack Robert Stone even more, but then Robert Stone's client, which is Stone's guy, which is Von Wagner, came out to save him from a post-match beatdown, where it just goes, I have no idea. We also got Oba Femi in a backstage interview, when all of a sudden Dijak decides to confront Oba Femi. I don't know where this is leading. If we somehow get Dijak versus Oba Femi at Stand and Deliver, potentially for the NXT North American title, that might be a good match. I've been seeing what Oba Femi has been doing since winning the NXT North American title, and I am slowly becoming impressed. Obviously, it's going to take a lot more from him to actually get me to be a fan, but I'm impressed so far with what he's done since winning the NXT North American title. He's defended it against at least 2 or 3 guys. He defended it obviously in a rematch with Dragon Lee. Oba Femi, he won last year's breakout tournament on the men's side. He was the winner of last year's NXT breakout tournament on the men's side. Obviously, Lola Vice won the women's breakout tournament. Yeah, he won he won the breakout men's tournament. He after Dragon Lee defended his title against Lexis King on an episode of NXT. Lola Vice was in a partnership with Legado del Fantasma's Elektra Lopez for a while. I guess after Elektra was kept in NXT following Legado's move up to the main roster, they sort of paired her up with Lola Vice, and then only recently they split up because I guess obviously Elektra was going up to the main roster to be with Santos and the new LWO. So it is what it is. She's pretty good. She also enacted her contract and was involved in the Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez match at NXT Vengeance Day. She turned it into a triple threat match, but she lost because Lyra was still the champion. But it is what it is. Oh, Gerald Bell. Hey, wow. Gerald Bell. That's a good guy. I know who he is. Gerald Bell has been on Max channel before, so I know who he is. We also got Gigi Dolan. Versus Ariana Grace. Apparently, the stipulation of this match was if Gigi Dolan lost, then Ariana Grace was going to have to give Gigi Dolan a makeover. I don't even remotely remember what this was. No, I don't think we have a problem. I think Aaron may have just been thinking that it was a troll account, but it's not. Just try not to erase anybody's comments. Yes, we are sure. Yes, we're sure, Dolores. Now, to be completely honest, he very well may have sent you here to spy. But that's okay. That's the first time that Gerald Bell has been on my live stream today. He's not timing out people. We got backstage segment with the ending of this Gigi Dolan versus Ariana Grace. The ending of the match saw Ariana Grace hit a low blow on Gigi Dolan, but then he but then I guess Gigi decided to do the same, but only she got caught. Only she got caught. Only she got caught. And she lost the match. So now apparently she's got to get a makeover by Ariana Grace. So I don't know. We also got Sol Ruka backstage. I'm seeing everything that's happening on my live stream, okay, on the chat. Okay, I'm seeing everything. We got Sol Ruka coming back. She's been back for a week, or about a week now. She is backstage with Carmen Petrovic. I have no idea who she is, who that person is, and I don't really care. I'm guessing this is going to lead to a match between the two of them, I guess. I don't know. Nate, can you just stop, please? Okay. My mods can do, if they feel they need to do something, then let them do it. And stop getting aggravated. We also got Thea Hale of Chase U with Fallon Henley versus Kiana James and Izzy Dane. I can't remember who won, but all I know is that after the match, we got a promo by Thea Hale. She started calling out JC Jane. And so I guess we're getting the old Thea Hale back, which is the ultra excited Thea Hale, who would just run around the ring and just do like the Ultimate Warrior thing. But so she said she doesn't want to be like JC Jane is a bit of a mean girl. She doesn't want to be like JC Jane, and so she's decided that she's going to be the old Thea Hale is back. The hyper excited Thea Hale, the Thea Hale that whenever she's in the ring looks like she just drank 12 cups of coffee. That Thea Hale. So I don't know. We got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson calling out the NXT Tag Team Champs Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. I'm guessing they might be involved in I don't even know what the qualifying match was earlier on, whether it was for it said triple threat match qualifier. Does this mean we're getting like a triple threat match at WrestleMania at Stand and Deliver for the NXT tag team titles? If so, I could see Gallows and Anderson being in that match. Nate, just settle down. We also got a Roxanne Perez cut a promo talking about her actions from last week when she decided to blindside Lyra Valkyria and attack her. She's now heel. She's heel. Because I'm telling you to, okay? I'm not timing you out, but you are not giving me reasons not to. Perez talked about what she did at Roadblock, attacking Lyra Valkyria, and how because of Roxanne, we have now seen the rise and fall of Lyra Valkyria. Yes, I did, okay? But geez, what do you expect me to do about it? Like I said, we also got, yeah, I did Austin. I'll talk about that in a minute. We also saw Obafemi again versus Brooks Jensen. That was a good little match, 11 minutes. Obafemi wins. We also got SS versus RH. I don't know what that is. No, he's not. No, he's not, Nate. He's not. Okay? I'm sorry, but he's not. Then we get the main event segment. Well, Nate, someone decided to make a troll account of you, Nate. I wonder who it could be. We also got the main event with Trick Williams calling out Carmelo Hayes. He called out Carmelo Hayes for a match at Stand and Deliver, which has been made official. As far as what type of match it will be, I would like it to be an unsanctioned match because some of the best unsanctioned matches in NXT have been former friends fighting each other, like Tommaso Ciampa versus Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly. So that's basically what I would like it to be, is an unsanctioned match. Whether it turns out to be that way, I don't know. It's okay, Nate. Please try to enjoy the live stream without stirring up drama or without causing drama, okay? Please just try to enjoy the live stream. Then, I don't know what the reason was, but the metaphor of Noam Dar or Mensa, Chikara Jackson, and Lash Legend decided to interrupt Trick Williams. At one point, and this is probably the best part of this segment as well, was at one point, Metaphor gets in the ring. They try to ambush Trick Williams. Well, Noam Dar and Mensa, he takes them out. Lash then, I guess, tries to hit him. He sort of grabs her arm, but then decides to do a little lip lock. So Trick Williams and the Lash Legend shared a kiss in the middle of the ring, and I did not know this at first, but now I do. Apparently, Lash Legend and Trick Williams are apparently in an actual relationship outside of NXT and Pro Wrestling. They are actually in an actual relationship, which I'm like, oh, okay, did not know that, and okay, damn, Trick. Got himself a lady, and it just happens to be a pretty one. But yeah. Oh, okay. Maybe it's a troll account. Again, maybe it's just a troll account. Because we've been getting troll accounts today, so that could have been the case. It could have been just a troll account during the timeouts. But that's okay. We'll deal with them. I'll deal with them when I can. And I know Nate will deal with them when he can. That was NXT. If I had to rate NXT, I would give it a 7 out of 10. It was pretty good. Pretty darn good show. 7 out of 10. Now for AW Big Business. AW Big Business. The whole point of AW Big Business was for the debut of Mercedes Moné, and she debuted this on Big Business. She cut a really great promo in the opening segment, which was her debuting, obviously. Then this led to a NXT, an AEW World Championship. Sasha Banks, Nate. Her name in real life is Mercedes Varnado. In real life, her name is Mercedes Varnado, but she was always Sasha Banks in WWE, and the name she's going by as of right now is Mercedes Moné. You know who Sasha Banks is? Best friends with Bayley, like 5-time Raw Women's Champion, couple of times, I think twice, 3 times she won the women's tag team titles. Well, she was Sasha Banks in WWE. She was an NXT champion, 5-time Raw Women's Champion, 1-time SmackDown Women's Champion, 3-time Women's Tag Team Champion. But she's now going by Mercedes Moné, and she debuted on AEW Big Business. The first match of the night was a AEW World Championship match between Wardlow and Samoa Joe. This match was good, as Samoa Joe, Wardlow matches always are. The one thing I just didn't like was that they made Wardlow look like a joke. It's like he was only here to give Samoa Joe an opponent for the World Championship. He was in, he was out, like, whatever. No, she was tag team partners with Bayley for a long time. Bayley is one of her best friends, and Bayley was actually there at AEW Big Business to support Mercedes, but she was not ever shown on camera. Obviously, I'm thinking she just decided I'm going to be there to show my support, but she decided I'm not going to be seen either, so I don't want to get into trouble. But yeah, like, Swerve came out immediately following the match. Obviously, he wanted to say some things to Samoa Joe. We're obviously getting Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland just one-on-one for the title. And I think Swerve will actually win it this time. I have no idea, Aaron. Then we got before we got the Wardlow vs. Samoa Joe match, we got a vignette with Adam Cole talking about story time with Adam Cole. He talked up Wardlow before his match with Samoa Joe. All the good that did. He lost. And he lost via passing out to the Coquina Clutch. We got backstage. We got Deonna Purrazzo. When she was backstage, she made a challenge to Mariah May and Toni Storm that next week on Dynamite. She made a challenge to Toni Storm and Toni Storm and Mariah May next week on Dynamite. She wants to face Mariah May and Toni Storm in a tag team match. I don't know who Deonna's tag team partner will be, but I don't know. I have no idea, Nate. Or just you just keep timing them out. You just keep blocking them and hiding them. You just keep doing what you need to do, what I trust you to do as a mod. We also got a Kyle O'Reilly backstage segment. He talked about his return to AEW after almost 2 years of being out with an injury, which I guess at one point was said to potentially be career-ending, just like Mercedes' recent injury was. Deonna Purrazzo is a former Impact/TNA star. She was Knockouts champion, I think, twice. She was also apparently in WWE for a short time. I'm not sure when. It was probably around 2018, 2019. Impact, TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling. The place where Sting went following his WCW days, the place where Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, they all went there. Hulk Hogan went there. Jeff Hardy was there at one point. Hardy was there for a time. Even Matt Hardy was there. A bunch of former WWE superstars went to TNA at one point. Like, think about the Main Event Mafia, Joker Sting. We got Joker Sting and we got Joker Sting and oh hey Hannah. Yeah. So that's yeah. I think it is Hannah. I think it is Hannah, okay? I don't time her out. Don't time her out, guys. So I think that is Hannah. So it's not letting me. Well, I'm gonna put her as a standard mod for now, just to see what happens. We also got the Elite. Now, Kyle O'Reilly, he talked about his coming back to AEW I think it was last week. No, he came back at Revolution after the yeah, okay. I believe you, Aaron. Kyle O'Reilly talked about coming back to AEW, and now he's going to have a match. He wants to have a match, and he will be having a match tonight on Collision against Brian Keith. I don't know him very much, except I know he's had some matches in AEW, and he's just recently became All Elite, but I don't know him very much. No, I don't think it's Shane. I haven't heard from him in a long time. I know someone will make you believe that I still talk to him, but I don't. I have stopped talking to that guy for a long time. We got the Elite, or at least the new Elite. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson and Kazuchika Okada, one of AEW's newest signings, against Penta El Zero Miedo, Eddie Kingston, and also the returning Pac, or as he was known in WWE as Neville, the man that gravity forgot, basically. So the Elite, obviously, they won this match. Next week on AEW Dynamite, we're getting a match between Kazuchika Okada and Eddie Kingston for the Continental Classic. This apparently is just for the Continental Classic title and not the other two titles that he currently holds. Because I think in the near future he's supposed to be defending his ROH World title against someone on like an ROH pay-per-view, which I don't even know. I mean, I could see them giving the Continental title to Kazuchika Okada, because I don't think he's losing. His third match in AEW as an official AEW superstar, because before he came over to AEW permanently, he had like 3 other matches, and he lost all 3. So officially, he's undefeated as a contracted AEW superstar. Then we got a Will Ospreay promo inside the ring talking about his match with Bryan Danielson that he will be having at AEW Dynasty this April, which should be a great match nonetheless. Should be a great match. May even be better than Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay. Who knows? We also got Darby Allin versus Jay White of Bullet Club Gold / Bang Bang Scissor Gang. Jay White wins, and this match was good. Now, apparently, Darby Allin broke his foot. I don't know which one it was, but apparently he suffered an injury during this match, which has put his plans to climb Mount Everest on hold, which is, I think, may very well be just a sign from God saying, "Don't do it." Also, what was probably the most interesting, the match itself was good, but also what happened after the match was obviously the most important part, was because they attacked Darby Allin. They wanted to attack Darby Allin's ankle or leg, put it trapped it in a steel chair, was going to use the bat to attack the leg. Eventually, the Acclaimed come out and they're like, "Guys, what are you doing? What are you doing? Don't do this." And hey, Heidhager. Now, we all know this is Heidhager. No, oh, wait. I'll just add you as a mod anyways, Heidhager, because I do know you. And until we get this whole thing situated, potentially, I'm going to have to. But, I mean, they're not hiding these people. They're not hiding these people, so I'm not sure why. They're not hiding these people, so that's something. We also got Hook and Chris Jericho versus the Gates of Agony of Toa Liona and Bishop Khan. Hook and Chris Jericho win. What was a semi-good match. Didn't need this match on the card, but it was okay. We got a backstage promo from these two, from Tony Leone and Bishop Khan afterwards. They were mad as hell that they lost their match. But then we got the main event, which was Willow Nightingale versus Riho. This match was actually okay for what it was, a women's match. It was okay for a women's match. It was, we got, after the match, we got Willow won. She was going to acknowledge Riho and shake her hand, but Sky Blue and Julia Hart took out Willow. This led to Mercedes Moné coming out to attack both Sky Blue and Julia Hart. This now potentially could set up a tag team match with Willow and Mercedes versus Sky Blue and Julia Hart down the line. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know who Mercedes will face in her official in-ring debut. It could be this tag team match. Who knows? That was AEW Dynamite. If I had to rate AEW Dynamite, just it'd be a 7 out of 10 because it was also a pretty good show. So, and now we get to SmackDown. We got the Rock concert, which was arguably the best part of the show. Wasn't much really that needed to be said about today. Well, last night we got LWO versus Legado del Fantasma in a qualifying match for a potential into the 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team titles. Legado won via interference, I think, from Elektra Lopez, who was at ringside. We got LA Knight came out to address AJ Styles. Talked about how AJ Styles can fly half across the world to Australia, but can't drive his way to Memphis. Obviously, AJ Styles was there tonight. He attacked LA Knight and accepted LA Knight's challenge for a match at WrestleMania. So we are getting that match at WrestleMania. We also got Randy Orton versus Grayson Waller. This match went about 13 minutes. Wasn't that bad of a match. The ending of the match, what happened after the match, was also the most important because earlier on in the night, Logan Paul met with Nick Aldis, said he was demanding that Randy Orton apologize for what he did to him last week. Obviously, that was not going to happen. Nick Aldis came out after the match when Logan Paul was there and decided that he is officially found not just Logan Paul's opponent for WrestleMania, but his opponents for WrestleMania. So we are now getting a triple threat match for the United States title. It will be Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. As far as who wins, I have no idea. We also got Jimmy Uso backstage segment with Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Paul Heyman. Kayla comes in out of nowhere, and immediately Paul is like, oh, Kayla scared the bejeebers out of him by sneaking up on him like that. I always liked Kayla Braxton and Paul Heyman's interactions because you always could tell that Paul Heyman was just always annoyed by Kayla Braxton so much. I mean, I'm sure outside of like the live shows and stuff, I'm sure they're friends like in real life, but as of like when they're on cameras, they always have to make it look like he's just super annoyed by her. Yeah, I might. Who knows? When it officially goes up as live. We also got a Dakota Kai interview before her match with Bayley in the main event. A lot of women main eventing Dynamite and SmackDown. Interesting. We also got a Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar match. This match went about 6 minutes. Went about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. We get Rey Mysterio coming out to attack Santos Escobar. And I think we're getting a match between Rey and Santos on next week's SmackDown. Can't remember, but I think it is next week's SmackDown. Well, yeah, a bit exaggerated, Hunter. Aaron, we don't need the FBI. Now, if you're talking about WWE's FBI, I mean, like, full-blooded Italians. Definitely don't need them. We also got another qualifying match for the six-pack ladder match. Qualifying, I guess, tournament or such. We got New Catch Republic versus Pretty Deadly. This was a better match than the RWO vs. Legado. That's in the fact that it was actually, I think, a slightly longer match, and it was good. About 9 minutes or so. We get New Catch Republic of Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne beat Pretty Deadly, as I knew it was going to happen. We also got in the main event, we got Bayley versus Dakota Kai. Bayley actually did win this match, but via DQ. DIY is on Monday Night Raw, and apparently this upcoming Monday, I think they have a match with the Creed brothers, with the Creed brothers in a qualifying match when it comes to the six-pack challenge. I actually would not have given them that match because I think the Creed brothers and DIY both deserve to be in the ladder match. I don't know. I think they're going to give it to Awesome Truth of Miz and R-Truth. We got Bayley versus Dakota Kai. Bayley wins via DQ. Oh, whoops. That was actually me, Nate. For a split second, that was actually me, Nate, that did that. Naomi apparently comes out to save Bayley. They had a backstage segment last week where Naomi was watching Bayley's interview, and I'm guessing I had a feeling that's what they were going to eventually get to doing, was they were going to do Naomi potentially coming to Bayley's aid eventually, because it just made sense considering that they actually do have history. That was it for SmackDown. If I had to rate Friday Night SmackDown, I would give it a 6 out of 10. Wasn't even that good of a show. The opening, which was the Rock concert, was obviously going to be the best part of the show, and it was, but it just wasn't that much. But that was it for SmackDown. If I had to rate SmackDown, I would rate it a 6 out of 10. Kind of like what Nate said. Kind of like Nate. I think he gave it a Nate. I think he gave it a 6 out of 10 too, like I did. That's okay. That's it for me. As far as my live stream is concerned, I think that's it for me. I'm going to let my phone charge. It's at 74%. Oof, I gotta let my phone charge. I will see you guys later as far as when I go live next. More than likely, same time, same place, next Saturday. See you guys later, and until next time, peace. Bye, guys.